What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Illest Podcast. Thank you for all the love and support you guys showed on episode 1. It honestly was amazing. I did not expect it to do that well. I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, especially from like having no prior talking about this.
Yeah.
We just came out of nowhere and did this. And I think you guys came out and supported. And I appreciate that.
No, yeah. And especially on the Instagram as well. We didn't really promote the Instagram either, but we do have an Instagram now. I mean, if we could do like a bubble here or something.
We'll pop something up.
Yeah. Go check out the Instagram. Give us a follow on there. We'll be putting a lot more like updates and snippets up there. And we just want to try promoting this everywhere we can. And if you guys share it, that means a lot. But again, thank you for all the support in episode 1.
Yeah,
on to episode 2.
On to episode 2. So we're gonna get more in depth into like our college experiences and whatnot. So I don't know if you want to start talking about your experience like coming to Marywood.
Well, me personally, people are always like, why did you pick this college? Because that's a big thing, right? Why do you pick the college you go to? For me, it's very easy. I went to Google, and I was like, free college applications in Pennsylvania. And like after 5 minutes, I found Marywood. I'm like, yo, this campus looks kind of dope. And then I look around, and I'm like, private bathrooms? You don't got to use a communal bathroom? I'm applying here, and my friend Lewis applied here as well, and we both got in, and that's how we came to Marywood.
Private bathrooms. Of all the things to like sway.
No, yeah. I was like, I don't want to use a communal bathroom. I was just like.
And you're in Regina. You're in a different hall now, so
yeah.
They still have private bathrooms there?
No, yeah. So I was actually in that hall my freshman year, and I'm back again. Like, last year, living in the house was kind of chaotic and fun at the same time. But now it's like living at this hall again. I could say it. No one's going to pop up and try to kill me. Living in Regina Hall again, it's like, okay, this is a dorm room. Whereas of living in the Woodlands, even though that's a residence hall, it's so different. You
get like that college experience, like you're as if you're in college.
Yeah.
Dorm room.
Yeah. It's so different because it was like it's 4 guys moving into a house. There's always people over. There's always something going on, and it's like it's so crazy. But now it's like back in a dorm room. It's all silent, and it's only like people are only over when I want them to be over. So yeah,
a little more personal space in that sense.
No, yeah, I enjoy it. Like. Especially like being a junior and having so many different projects to do, I enjoy my time. Kind of what that reference is. I kind of enjoy the time that I get to myself. Like it's my own setup. I get to have it however I want it. If it's dirty, it's on me, not on my roommates. So like I try to keep it clean as much as I can. Last week I kind of let it go because I was sick, but it's just I enjoy the private space that I have.
Yeah, like living with other people has given you the perspective that you went through that, and you're like, no, that's not for me.
No, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed living with them, but also I shared a room. If I had my own private room and I only shared the living room and all the other spaces, that would be fine. But like I also shared a room with someone, and the room wasn't even that big because they were like, all right, you're getting a whole house, so you're getting a smaller room. So it's like, I wish either the room was bigger, or if I had my own room, I would enjoy that a lot more. And I feel like the reason we all kind of moved out is because everyone kind of wanted their own room. And that's not possible unless we moved off campus and we didn't find a good enough place off campus in time. So
yeah, it's tough. Like, my girlfriend is going away to college now, and she's having to deal with like living with other people. And even like in the colleges I've been to, I've never lived in like the same room as someone else. So like my first college, I went to Arcadia University down near Philadelphia, but I studied abroad my first semester in Scotland. And we had like, it was kind of like what you had. It was like a communal kitchen, communal living space. And then we had our own personal rooms though. That was the difference. Yeah. So that was like, I never experienced like living with someone else. And I came back for a week and I lived in the same room, but it was just for like 1 week. It wasn't exactly the same thing. I was on the swim team there. So it was all just like people we all knew. But yeah, I can't imagine like having to share a bedroom with someone else. You can't. There's no privacy involved, and it's just like you're trying to like.
If you want to have someone over, like you gotta kind of be like, yo, bro, I'm gonna have someone over. Like, could you like not show up at this time? And if they don't see the text message, they're knocking on the door, and then you're like, all right, I gotta.
Or another, like you're trying to like make music or like play your guitar, right? Make a beat or something. You kind of have to like keep it down. Headphones on,
Yeah. So it was definitely all of that. I mean, it didn't matter because most of my instruments were in the living room, and later at night, of course, everyone's sleeping. I'm a night owl, so I was always downstairs in the living room doing something. But like I did notice that I didn't spend any time in my room. I spent all my time in the living room because I'm like, this is more of a private space than my bedroom because I share that room like legit 6 feet apart. There's another bed and there's another dude right there. So like I was spending a lot more time in the dining room, the kitchen, and like the living room, and just doing work there instead of my room.
That's like the opposite of what you think. You think your room is a private space. I was in my room the entire time because it was the private space, you know. And that's like where I started writing music, was in that room. I just had nothing else to do, so like, let me just do this, I guess. But it was so weird. Like we started like almost resenting each other, you know. Like we'd like run in the kitchen and hope not to see anybody, and then like run away, and you know, it was a strange time during that time. And I would just spend every minute in my room. If it wasn't there, I was in class or at the dining hall or something, eating food. It's been a very different experience, I would say, living off campus on my own, and like commuting to classes as opposed to like you dorming here and like you're all around.
Oh yeah, you commute.
It's like, I guess like I technically commute. I live like 2 minutes away from campus, so I can leave. My commute is probably faster than some people like walking to class.
Yeah,
you know, but like having my own space is definitely like a key to everything I do as well. Like I just like editing videos. I have no worries of like other people like overhearing or stuff. Like I have a hard time working with other people in the area. I'm like
100%. Like that. That's one thing I've noticed for me as well. It's whenever I would sit down last year to like sit down to edit a video or just to do a project or anything, I'm doing it, and then somebody walks into the kitchen. The conversation starts. Next thing you know, they're showing me something on their phone. That leads to us watching a movie. Now it's 3 hours later and my project is still not done. And it's like, now I'm just like, okay, I'm in my room. I'm going to close my door. I'm going to do my work. Where I wish I had that last year. But like, again, I'm sharing a room with like another person. It's like, sure, he's an architect major and he's like in the architecture building a lot, but at the same time he spent a lot of the time in his room and doing the work because he didn't like being in the building. So it was just, I need to find a medium where it's like it's my space, and that was the living room.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine again having to share such a personal space where you can't even even comfortable doing your own work and stuff. And yeah, same thing with like Hudson out in Massachusetts. Like she's not comfortable doing, and like she lives in a place that has like she's on the 4th floor and there's no elevator, so she has to walk up and down every time. Nah. So she's like, I would go to the library and study and do my work there, but then you have to walk down the stairs and back up the stairs a bunch of times. You know, it's like it's just a strange place out there. I'll be honest.
Wait, why is there no elevator? That's my main concern. Like,
the campus itself is like really old. Mm-hmm. It's like from like the 1800s, 17. I think it's from the 1700s. I think it's before or like right after like the Revolutionary War it was built. Dang. So like some of the buildings are like more modernized, but like the outside, like Marywood, you can tell like the LAC is like older building, and like even like McGowan and like the science centers are older kind of, but like the insides they have like elevators and they have like nice classrooms and they like renovated it all. She goes to Mount Holyoke and like, it's exactly how it looks on the outside is how it looks on the inside too. It's all just like you're stuck in time, which is like cool to like look at and if you're like walking around, but like to study there for real.
Yeah, to be living there for like 4 years and trying to do that.
Yeah,
it's a bit much.
It's kind of strange. Like it makes you appreciate. Like even she gave me a tour when I was there, and like coming back to Marywood, I'm like, I thought this was like standard, like normal. Yeah, makes you appreciate all like the computers we have and like the nice like soundproof rooms and stuff. Like, they don't have any of that there.
Dang. I mean, one thing I don't like is like it's kind of the reason we're doing this podcast is because not many people know about our major. Not many people know about these facilities here.
Yeah, like no one uses the computers. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah, it's like this is a facility that cost way too much money from, we're not told a number, but it's a rough estimate
it's like,
from what we see
like
around.
7 figures.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the new computers that are in the lab?
Yeah, man, they're nice, but how often are they going to be used is the question.
That's the thing. They'll be used for class, but then after that, not really. But I mean, if more students were to get involved, like this, like we're using our own personal equipment or your equipment, but at the same time, the school offers all this stuff, and like they have mics, they have cameras, and it's just. Like, not many people use them other than like, oh, I got to do a project for class. Let me just use it for class and let's leave it.
Yeah, exactly. And even like, I'm just trying to think. Like, they have like the nice microphones, they have the nice studios, the Macs and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been a better investment to put the Macs in the editing suites.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
How much are those Macs?
Oh, they're like over 1,000. They're like 1,200 or something like that. They're
probably around. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like they have like high refresh rate screens, and they're all like the ones that are in the studios. I think from like 2017 or something. They're not like too old, but like technology wise, they're getting there.
They're getting there. They're like 2013.
Like you'll pull up like Logic and it'll take like 5 minutes to load and whatnot.
Yeah, those are well depending on which model they are and how much storage. And we know that they've had computers with a lot of storage in them in the past. They could be anywhere from like 1,300 to like 1,700 a piece.
They're putting a lot into that.
There's 20 of them in there.
Yeah.
Dude, what?
But like we need more kids outside the comm departments. Like the music, like I'm surprised. I don't know if they do or don't. I don't think they do. Like music majors, like coming in, like they can record.
They can record music here, and like make their own music, which a lot of them do. But they do it with. I'm not trying to call anyone out, but with a little bit of a shittier quality in their own room, recording on their iPhones.
Yeah, well, there's a distinct. It's not calling them out. There's a distinct quality difference in like microphones as opposed to like these onboard microphones are terrible. They're nice cameras, but these are real microphones that are meant to do that. So you buy everything and you want people to use them as they're actually intended to be used. And if you're investing so much into it, you think and like I think it's like kind of cool how like Marywood has like the basement for the comm department, but at the same time it kind of like blocks us off from everyone else.
Yeah, because we're not our own building. Like technically this is a whole building of its own. The whole library is ours. But like at the same time it's like we're not our own building like the science building or the architecture building or any of the other buildings like that exist on campus. Yeah,
like people come to like the cafe to eat something, but they don't explore downstairs.
Yeah, they don't come downstairs. Yeah, there's so many people that I've met, or they're like, "Oh, what's your major? Multimedia communications. Which building is yours?"
Yeah, where do you even
the
go
library,
for that?
Yeah. They go, "We're in the library, the basement." Wait, there's a basement? I'm like, yeah, do you not see the stairs that are like big stairs? Like we have 2 basements here, guys. Like some people have seen it on their tours, but like other than that, people that haven't really taken a tour of this place don't really like look down here. And there's so much interesting things, like, because there's so many people I've met in other departments that are, like, interested in what we're doing, like, creating their own podcast or music or something like that. But they just don't know where to go. But, yeah, but just to clear up, we're not, like, saying that, oh, why is Marywood spending all this money on these places? We're saying that it's a good thing that they're doing it, and we appreciate it because we're able to use these facilities as well. We're just talking about how, like, us as students could, like, kind of branch out to other students and let them know that these facilities exist for them to use. Like,
yeah, we want them to like, reach their full potential in usage, that like everyone can use them, and that to being like, anyone can be creative. If you're like a science major, you can still have like you want to do a podcast. Like anyone can do it. Like I watched like Noel and Cody. They were engineers, software engineers before they were comedians. You know what I mean? Like anybody can branch out and do any type of content.
100%.
And that's the thing about the creative world is that like if you have that, like, you don't even have to have like a creative mind necessarily. If you have like good ideas, you could be
the idea guy.
Yeah, and
you can be the guy in the chair.
And we need people to know that there's resources that they can use to help facilitate that.
Yeah. And Marywood has all those resources, and it's like there's more things that I'm like kind of trying to branch out to do. Like, I don't know if you could say his name because he got banned. Hopefully. We don't get
I don't even know. Oh, I think I've heard. Is it gambling? Was that what he doing? Or was it
he was talking about a certain bald billionaire who says Bugatti.
Okay.
He was talking about him. He was talking about a bunch of other things. And the thing that happened in 2020, which we're still seeing the effects of, the pandemic. He was talking about that, and I think he got banned because of that stuff.
Yeah, so we have to be careful around that, too.
No, yeah, we can't really, like, we don't want to say any facts that aren't true about it, but we can talk about our personal experience, I think.
Yeah, it was tougher, especially in the creative world. Like, it just wasn't my learning style. We were doing Zoom classes for everything, and it hit, like, I had one semester of college, and then the second semester was when it hit, and like at first I was like, oh, cool, I can
Yeah.
stay home and do whatever and just go on my laptop and do classes. But when you think about it from like a financial standpoint, you're paying all this money for college.
Yeah.
And like, what are you getting out of it?
What are you receiving? Like,
And-
absolutely nothing.
And even just like, I feel like creativity is the best when you have like people to bounce it off of.
100%. Yeah.
You can only do so much on your own, and every project for the whole, I think it was like a year and a half that I was doing it before I came here. It was
Yeah.
like every project I did on my own. I did every aspect of it, which is like, it's cool for experience with like cameras and editing, like have to have a wide variety of experience doing every step of the process.
Yeah.
But like, you can't be as creative because you're kind of tied down to having to do it all yourself.
Yeah. It's what I liked that Marywood did was, even though while we were under lockdown or certain restrictions, they were like, all right, keep your masks on. Since there's 30 students in this class, some of you come to class on Monday, some of you come to class on Tuesday, some of you come to class, or like my Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, it would be like some of you come on Monday, some of you come on Friday, some of you come on Wednesday. And it would be stuff like that, so they could keep it restricted and like contained as much as they can and not have too much exposure. And if you were exposed, you're quarantining for 2 weeks. These are the rules that we went by, and like, I think they did a pretty good job.
That's interesting. 'Cause I went to Lackawanna during most of the time that I was there,
Yeah.
and they just shut down everything pretty much.
Oh.
And then like the semester before I transferred, so fall 2021,
Yeah.
they opened schools back up, and we had to do, but they didn't have anything that was like, I think the classes were small enough there. There's only like 10 kids in a class, where they had just like full classes as usual with
Yeah.
masks and whatnot. And then I transferred to Marywood, and it was all masks. And I think by that point it was cleared up enough where they were able to have, like, I think like 1 or 2 weeks that was Zoom.
Yeah,
Last semester? Yeah.
the first like 2 weeks it was like kind of like Zoom
Just-
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then feeling it out, and then
Yeah.
and then we came into
Yeah.
yeah. It's also weird wearing masks as like someone who, like, I'm not anti-mask. I approve of it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But just like I wear glasses most of the time, so I
Oh,
can't
no, they
see with the
fog up,
fog up, and then just like I a lot of like nonverbal cues. I'm not the best like verbal communicator, but like you can tell someone's body language, but like their face is
With
like half
with
of
the
that.
face
You know.
covered, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, and then like one of the weirdest things I went through was I would like see people with a mask on and then take it off, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't think that's how they would look. Like, not if it's a bad thing, but it was just a weird.
No, yeah. It's like, oh, I thought you just looked nothing. I just thought you had eyes and then a mask for face.
And then you see their actual face,
But
and you're
now,
like, oh,
now you have a mouth.
that's how you look.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad necessarily. It's just different. Yeah.
Because you get used to one look and then it just changes. It's just like how that was bad. Like I've had a beard for like 2 years, and then I just shaved it out of nowhere a couple of weeks ago, and then my friends were like, "Yo, you look like a baby." I'm like, "Yo, chill, bro. I'm kind of vibing with the no beard." And then people were like, "You look so different." Like one of my friends, she came up to me and she was like, "Who are you? Do I know you?" I was like, "Bro, come on."
Like, you look familiar at this part, but I don't know. I don't know
This part looks familiar, but like everything down here is just completely changed. But yeah. So like for the students here at Marywood, there's so many things here. Like, come use them. Like, they're for you. And if you don't know how to use them, ask one of the comm majors. Like, this is like, we're trained in using this stuff. So like,
Yeah, I think most of us would be happy to try to help and again, like, expand the field.
yeah,
It's not all about ourselves. We also need other people to, again, like, creative
Yeah.
discussions and multiple people.
It's
Like,
when you have two different people of two different mindset in one team, there's so much more that could be created from like that compared to two people with the similar mindset.
mhm.
Like if we were to like we're both comm majors, we both have very similar like things we like to do. If we were to put like a science major in here, that will like change the whole flow of everything.
Yeah, who knows what kind of perspective
Yeah.
they can bring, especially like someone who like doesn't know the equipment. They might have like some sort of like idea that we wouldn't even think of. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't even think that was possible, but they just like, oh, just do this, and we're like, well, wait, that actually might work.
Yeah,
you know,
like I didn't think of that. It was like I was editing one day, and then this was last year. My roommate came in, and he was like, "Dude, that's a whole different language." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm just looking at the sound. He's like, "It's a whole different language, dude. I don't understand anything that you're doing right now." And I was editing one of my projects, and I was just like, "Dang!" When I really think about it, this is a whole different language. Like, like we look at the graph, we look at, okay, all right, the sound is a little too much over here, let's just like compress that a little. But like other than that, it's just like, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like so simple to us because we've done it so much. And
yeah,
we look at a waveform, we're like, okay, this is like that's peaking, that's loud. We need,
yeah,
you know, as you're
just
saying,
like compress
or like,
it a little, yeah.
Yeah, or even just like EQing, like you can tell when something sounds off. Or like, I found myself like in movies now, if I see like a weird cut or something, I'm like, oh, that, you know, they
that's
did
a
that
weird
cut
cut
weird or
right
something.
there,
Yeah, but everyone's like, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. But it's like, it's like it comes with practice and whatnot. And I think if someone were to come down here, we'd help them with that. And then once you start understanding it, you can do it on your own. And you figure out what looks right, what sounds right, how to do it.
So we're taking this little break to give you this advertisement read, which is, we want to promote 91.7 VMFM.
It is the alternative radio station that's on campus that every student is allowed to attend, and they're allowed to be a DJ on it. So if you ever have any inclinations or creative outlets you want to do in radio, VMFM is where you want to go.
Yeah, and we also take music submissions. We are an alternative radio station, but any song that you might want on it, you could give it in and we'll put it in for submission. And after that, you might get it on the radio station.
Yeah, so if a song plays, you can be the one to tell all your friends, yeah, I'm the reason the song is on the radio station right now.
Or, hey, I have a radio shift. Maybe you should tune in around like 3 p.m. on Wednesdays, and you might be able to hear me on there.
And especially, you can call in as well. When there's a DJ in, there's a number that they give. You can call in and request songs if they're already on the playlist. So if you're listening to the radio, you want a specific song, call in and ask them.
Yeah, so make sure to check out 91.7 VMFM. So, that was different. We don't do advertisement reads. So, like, let us know what you think about where we put it. But on to the next topic, which is trying to balance your personal life with this whole college thing going on.
It's tougher, I think, than people imagine. I think back to when I had, like, 8-hour classes every day for school, like high school and whatnot, and it's so, like, you look at a schedule and you're like, okay, I only have, like, 2 classes today or 3 classes, but the work outside of classes, I think, accounts for a lot more than people would give it credit for.
No, yeah, you're doing so much more in college, where it's like, I remember being in high school and looking some of my friends that were older than me, looking at their college schedule, like, bro, you only got to go to class for like 2 hours? Bro, like, I go 8 hours a day, I do more work, but then I come to college and I realize, like, no, this is so much more. Like, you're putting so much more into it. Like, yeah, it might only be 2 hours of class for that day, but then it's 2 hours of work per class. So, like, that it just gets more and more, because you might have another thing due that day from a different class that you don't even have that day, which is just like, it's hard to kind of balance all of that and, like, trying to do, like, your work, staying on top of everything, and just, like, kind of, where do I make time for myself?
Yeah, and then you have, like, you want to do, like, clubs and activities, and, like, we're doing this podcast here, but, like, having to work around all that, and then also keep, like, on track with doing all your schoolwork, because that's most important, honestly. But, like, you want to be in a good headspace while you're doing it as well. You can't just, like, sit down and do work the entire time.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and especially as, like, comm major. I mean, everyone has all their problems, but, like, comm majors, we have to, like, sit down, like, edit things. We have to, like,
it takes us hours.
It's a different process. And, like, even, like, these podcasts, it takes me, like, I think last time it took me, like, 2 or 3 hours just to cut it up and go back and forth. Because, like, you have the whole podcast, you have to stop and start and go back again. Like, I don't think people realize how much goes into, like, creative projects like this. They think, oh, you just sit down, record, and do it. But, like, we set up. Yeah. We have to, like, test everything, and then, like, afterwards you have to, like, do the post-production, break it all down, edit everything. It just, people don't realize how long it takes.
No, yeah. Today we actually have a crew member, Dan. Shout out to Dan. Like, I mean, Dan could probably say to it. We're like, even before we started recording, we're sitting here and we're like, all right, so this is what we're talking about. This is everything going on. All right, let's get everything set up. And it's like, there's so much more that goes on into, like, setting it up and, like, actually doing it, and then post-production is like, well, we're kind of like looking at the comm side of it, like, where our major comes in. There's so much that goes into it, and I know the whole, like, meme or stigma behind it is, like, comm majors are like, okay, which movie am I watching today?
Like one of the easiest majors.
But it's so demanding in terms of, like, after I do this work, there's 2 to 3 hours of post-production. Like, I'm sitting down, I'm editing a vlog right now that's supposed to be up later today, and, like, I started editing it yesterday. I'm still not done. Like, because it's like I spent like an hour yesterday, and I'm like, okay, how much did I edit? I've only edited 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I still have like an hour worth of footage left.
And they even say like in like screenplays, like one whole page of action is like 1 minute in a film.
No, yeah.
It's like, it's crazy like how it translates over. I don't understand it fully, but
yeah, like I'm not on screenplay sides. Like like something like that is something I would love to do in the future and like kind of like dabble in. But it's like it's so like interesting to see like you could put hours and hours of work into something and it's only a couple of minutes.
It's insane. And yeah, I think people don't appreciate it as much. And then like on top of all that, for projects in school, again, we're trying to have like a social life and trying to stay involved in our the Marywood community or like your normal community. Like it's just a lot of balance. And especially because like college students, they're also trying to work at the same time, like a part-time job or doing something to make a couple bucks. Like there's a lot that we have to balance.
Like especially as a student that lives on campus, it's like sometimes like randomly you'll get a text in one of your group chats, or like maybe one of your friends goes, hey, you want to go out to eat? Like, you gotta have the dough for that, bro. Like sometimes some of these students be like, yo, we're going out to eat. I'm like, bro, this is the 5th night in a row. Like, where you getting the money for this shit? Yeah. And it's like, I mean, some students are like, my dad paid for this, like, you know, and like,
whatever.
Like, all right, yeah. Like, my parents helped me out. Like, I'm gonna say it right up. Like, they helped me out, but like, it's not like I can't afford to like go 5 nights in a row. Like, if I like order food like one night, I'm like, all right, let me look at my budget. Let me look how this week looks. All of that stuff. And like some of these kids, like, just like kind of jealous, but like at the same time, it's like balancing all of that. It's like I'm saying it's like way too much right now. It's hard.
Prepares you for real life too, though. Like
100%.
It's gonna be, you're gonna have to finance everything, and you're gonna have to do everything on your own. Like I think it definitely prepares you for the real world, but it's not easy, especially at 20, 21.
No, yeah.
Going to college at 18 and to do all that stuff, and it's not easy.
It's 2022. You said 2021.
Or like we're like our ages.
Oh no, yeah.
Like you're 20, right? Or
yeah, I'm 20.
I'm 21. So it's like,
oh yeah,
we're so young, having to do everything on our own. But again, it like prepares you for that, and they kind of set you free into the world, And, and you're trying to have to balance every. This is like the 3rd time that's happened this podcast. You're trying to balance everything,
But no, like trying to find a time where you're like, okay, let me go hang out with friends. Let me go do my work. Let me do all of this stuff. It's so hard, and sometimes it could get a little like you get a little stressed out, which like you want to pay attention to your mental health and just like chill and get your like maybe an hour in a day where you just sit down, relax, do something you like, maybe read a book, watch a movie, YouTube, TikTok, whatever you like doing. For me, it's the gym. Like I go to the gym, I clear my mind, I go lift heavy weights. But that's what it is for me. And most of the times I end up recording in there. So like I kind of dabble in work with a little bit of pleasure. I call going to the gym pleasure because I enjoy it. It's my time. I clear. Like when I'm under a bar, bro, and I'm benching 200 plus pounds and it's on my chest and it's just coming up slowly and my muscles are just like screaming at me, I'm just like, this is peaceful.
This is it.
Because I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not stressed about anything other than get this weight up.
That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Yeah, I've never put that into perspective.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how I just look at it. It's like, especially for me and a lot of other like gym rats, as we call ourselves. It's a way to clear your mind. You're not thinking about anything else other than get this weight up off of me. Yeah. And what's the best way to do that? How do I stay in form? Because you're too busy thinking about form. You're thinking about your breathing, how everything is like proper. Because like when you're squatting, people are like, oh, you're just getting down and up. No, it's a lot more than that, especially when you have a lot of weight on there. You're like, okay, is this balanced? Are my feet balanced? I got to make sure that when I squat down, my heels don't come up. They have to stay on the ground. My breathing has to be proper, because if I'm not breathing in, going down, and exhaling slowly as I come up, I might not be able to bring this weight up.
Yeah, so you're thinking about all that instead of trying to focus on or think about everything. Yeah,
it just clears my mind.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, that's it. I hope this podcast helps clear your mind as well. Put it on in the background and do whatever and clear the mind.
Honestly,
yeah.
I have a question for you guys. What's one difficulty you faced in college? Maybe you're going to college and you don't know yet, or maybe you're already a college student or alumni, what's one thing you faced in college so far, and what's one thing that you hope not to face? We want to get the comment section kind of going and maybe kind of use some of those comments in our next episode. But again, check out our Instagram. Thank you for watching this episode.
Yeah, appreciate everyone. Again, yeah, everything is in the description, links in the description, and yeah, if you have any podcast ideas moving forward about what you want to hear us talk about, always feel free to leave it down there as well, or reach out to us personally.
I love doing this. I looked forward this whole week to just like sitting down and like talking about this. I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I wanted a podcast for so many years. Now that we have one, it's like we get to do our thing.
That's
but
nice.
It's like,
if we can keep it up, hopefully keep doing it. And we'll see how it goes. With your guys' support, we can.
Honestly, it's the support that you guys give us, especially on episode 1 with 70 freaking views, dude. That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
but thank you for watching, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one.